Welcome guys. So today we're going to talk about SCT. Now we'll see what are the facts and what is the structure of SAT and all those things which you should know when you are going for SAT. Now without wasting any time, we'll straight away jump to the questions parts and all. And before starting, let me tell you, my name is Pradeep Swami and I'm a quant trainer. So what is the SAT? So SAT facts. So let's directly jump to the slides and see what does SAT hold for us. Now, SAT facts. What is SAT? A standardized test widely used for undergrad colleges admission in United States, or few other top colleges in other countries and India as well. So yeah, SAT will help you to get to the undergrad colleges in US, Canada, Australia, India, any country you name it as. So it is quite vital for you to getting admission in these colleges. Now, talking about SAT facts, is SAT uses standardized tests for all undergrad programs. So almost all undergrad programs except SAT as standardized test, except law student has to take LSAT and medical student has to take MCAT. So in short, simple, SAT is generally a general test for undergrad programs. However, the law student has to take LSAT and medical student has to take MCAT. Next, what does SAT stands for? SAT stands for nothing. So SAT is not an acronym of anything. So SAT is simply called SAT, not SAT or something like that. So it is SAT doesn't have any full form. SAT does. So all those full forms you may see on the internet are the old forms and which are not currently used. So who's the maker of SAT? Who's the parent company of SAT? Is College Board. College Board makes your tests, the app which you use, the app which you give test on, all those are of College Board. Next, why SAT? Why you want to take SAT? As first of all, it is universally accepted. Scholarship, yes. When you get a good score, you have a great chances of getting a scholarship. Money often follows an impressive SAT score, and we'll talk about what is impressive score soon. To balance a low GPA, yeah, your academics, if your academics are not that great, it can somehow balance it out. Your scores fall around you for life. Yes, great SAT students most who succeed in life. Now we'll talk about the new digital SAT. Yes, why is it called a digital SAT? Is because earlier it was a pen and paper test. Now it is completely an digital test. What do I mean by digital is mod of the test will be online. Mod of the test will be online. Now on test dates, students will be able to bring their own computers or their own tablets if they choose so. They can also use the provided directly at the testing centers. Yes, on test days you are entitled to take your laptops, your tabs, and you can also use the computer system, the PC there, which is already providing a testing center. So it is your choice, but you should give preference from my point of view. You should give preference to your laptop or tab because you are more used to that. Now, place of administration will always be schools and test centers with proctor. Duration of the test is 2 hours 14 minutes. 2 hours 14 minutes. Forget about it. Two section of digital SAT suit. Yes, there are two sections: reading and writing, in short English, and math. Reading and writing, English and math. Now we'll talk about how the scoring happens in SAT. Section score scales from 200 to 800 in 10-point intervals. So 200, I can say 200 is called 0 marks. I'll tell you why is it 0 marks. 200 is 0 marks and 800 is full marks. Now 200 for each. For English also it starts from 200 to it goes up till 800. For math also it starts from 200 and goes up till 800. So I can say if this is English, let's say this is English, math is also from 200 to 800. Same 0 marks and full marks. So in short, the whole test is from 400, which is 0 marks, to 1600, that is full marks. Now, your SAT test scores, when you get a report, your total score will be calculated from 1600, 800 up to 800 of English, 800 of math. Now, what I mean by 0 marks and full marks is your score will start from 200. So, as we start numbers from 0 or 1, here the scores will directly start from 200. So, if you get 200 marks, that means you have not attempted anything. So let's say you can get a score like 210, you can get a score 250 in particularly talking about one section. So English you can get 350, 450, 550, 750, 790, 800 depending on that. Similarly, math also you can get let's say 330, 450, 760, 800 whatsoever. Now English and math scores will be combined and you will get a score probably let's say 1300, 1370, 1490, 1530, 1590, 1600, 1110, any score depending on how you performed in both the tests, both the sections. Calculator, yes, allowed throughout the math section, access to built-in graphing calculator or use your own. Yes, you can use the Desmos graphing calculator which is already given in the tab. So Desmos graphing calculator or the graphing calculator which I was talking about. So this is kind of a graphing calculator you will get in your SAT. So it will be a built-in calculator which you will be able to access during the test. So for example, and this does dual work in the sense if I want to add 7 plus 5, you know that is 12, it can do my calculation. If I want to let's say 7 into 5, 35, it does multiplication as well. So it does every calculation thing you want from it. And one more thing it does is it makes you graphs as well. 7x plus 5y, let's say, equal to 10. 7x plus 5 equal to 10. You saw a green color is denoting this line and a graph has been formed. So x-intercept is what? So y-intercept is 0, 2 and x-intercept is 1.24. This is how. Now it will be really beneficial for you to finding how many times lines are intersecting, at what point they are intersecting, x-axis, y-axis, what is the graph, what is the slope of the graph, is it positive, slope, negative, so many things. So let's say 3x minus, so let's say I've made a graph of 3x minus 2, I just written it directly. Now you can see 7x plus 5y is equal to 10, 3x minus 2y is equal to 6. Now you can see there are two graphs. Purple is being represented by 3x minus 2y equals to 6 and the green one is the other one. Now you'll see when you click on the graph, you'll see gray dots. This gray dot is representing the solution of the graph, simple as that. So how many times are these two graphs intersecting? Only once, so you can clearly see. Now what are the other gray dots will be representing are x-intercepts. So you can click here, you can see x-intercept here is 2, 0, here x-intercept is 1.42 and they will also show you y-intercept by gray dots. So you can zoom it out here, from zoom up, zoom out here. You can see this is 0, 2 and it is, you click here 0, minus 3. So apart from x-intercept and y-intercept, wherever you see the gray dot, that means it is a solution of the graph. For example, if you, so what is the solution of the graph? 1.272414 and y is minus 0.41379. So this is a solution and this is quite helpful for you in exam as it is doing dual work, as it is doing your graphical work as well. So please be very careful and use it wisely because it is going to help you out a lot. Next, you can take a physical calculator as well, which is a scientific calculator which will help you a lot in exam, helping you in calculations and all. Now don't start using directly in the exam. Please get a hang of it before going to the exam, because if you think that you're going to use this on the exam, that will not benefit you. Many of you may not be used to this calculator, so buy a scientific calculator today if you can and get used to it, and it will definitely help you. So yes, you can do your calculation with inbuilt calculator as well, like I did, and you can take this. So take a scientific calculator with the exam and use the Desmos graphing calculator for graphical things as well. Now coming back to the slides. Now how is digital SAT is scored, or how is it conducted is there are two modules, isn't it? You saw there are two modules of section. Now there are two sections, English and math, and in those sections there are two modules of each. So English also has two modules, math also has two modules. Now we'll talk about, for example, let's say if I talk about math. Okay, before coming to math, let's talk about how many questions are there. Then I'll come back to the adaptability of the test. Now, talking about reading and writing, which is English and math. Administration. So, two-stage adaptive test, one reading and writing section administered via two separately timed modules. So, in first module, you will have 27 questions. In second module of English, you will have 27 questions. On each module, you will be given 32 minutes each, 32 and 32. So in short, total questions in English will be 54 and total time will be given to you 64 minutes, and on an average per question you get 1 minute or so, 1 minute 20 seconds or whatsoever. Talking about math, in math you will have 22 questions in each module and you get little bit more time, 3 minutes more, 35 minutes each for those two modules. Now remember this 22 for these 22 questions, 35 minutes is just for one module. When you're done with those 35 minutes, you will not be able to access the first module. Then your second module directly starts. And even if you're done with those first module way before 35 minutes, you cannot move on the next module until you're done with those 35 minutes. So wisely use those 35 minutes. 45 questions, yes, in total there will be 44 questions and you'll be given 70 minutes. So on an average, approximately 2 minutes per question, which is quite a good time. Next, you need to look at what I have written here. Pre-test questions, two pre-test questions. So what do I mean by pre-test questions is, yes, you will have 27 questions in English, but only 25 will get scored. Only 25 will get scored. Two are called experimental questions. Two are experimental questions in each math and module, math and English. So these two experimental question doesn't gain you anything or lose you anything. They are not counted in scores. So you will only be given scores on basis of those 25 questions, not on those two questions. Yes, and here is a trap. In exam, you don't get to know which is the experimental question. After the exam is conducted, it's just SAT who knows which was the experimental question. So in simple sense, you should for us every 27 questions should be important. Now many of you would ask, why is this a experimental question needed or pre-test question? Now again, as it is still in early stages of a digital test, so it is still testing out the questions and all. So yes, that is why there is that is why probably there is these experimental and pre-test questions. So for us, in simple sense, all 27 questions of English and all 22 questions of math matters. Math may have 20 questions which are counted for scores. So that means, now again you will ask me, sir, if I get these two questions wrong, will I lose anything? Will I lose any marks? No, not at all. And even if you get it correct, you will not gain anything. Simple as that. And in exam, you don't get to know which is experimental question. So let's talk about the adaptability now. So you saw that, let's talk about maths. So how many questions are there? You will say, sir, there are 22 questions in math. We'll talk about adaptability in math introduction as well. Let me give a little bit of review. Now 22 questions. So first module you have 22 questions and second module also you have 20 questions. So this will apply to both in English and math. In just English you will have 27 questions. Module 1 students are given a broad mix of easy, medium and hard questions. So module 1 is a mixed bag of questions. Mixed bag. Now what do I mean by mixed bag is, it will have easy, medium and hard question. For example, let's say I have easy, medium, hard question. How many questions do I have, students? You will say, sir, I have 22 questions. I have 22 questions. Let's say 10 are easy. Let's say 8 are easy. 9 are medium. 8 are also medium, and 6 are hard. We have distributed this. 8 easy, 8 medium and hard. So mixed bag. It can vary, the number of questions can vary. Now if you perform quite good in the first one, let's say you get 16 or more than 16 or 15 or more than 15 questions correct, your second module will be a hard module. So better you perform, the second module will be that harder. Now harder doesn't mean that every question will be hard, all 22 questions will be hard. No, it's just the number of questions of hard will increase. Now you saw easy, medium, hard. Earlier there were only 6 questions hard. Let's say now the hard question may be, let's say 11 are the hard question. Then you can say easy, medium are, let's say 8 questions, and easy are only 3. So this is how it can vary. 11 plus 8, 19, 19 plus 3, 22. So it's in simple sense. Let's say I'll just make a little bit of change in, so that let's say 9 were easy and 7 were medium. Now the medium is 8 and easy is 3 and hard is 6. So this is how it happens. Yeah, the number of question can vary. This was just an example. So this is how it happens. So if you perform good in first module, your second module is hard. If you perform average in the first module, your second module will be medium level. Medium level, again, the medium number of question, medium level question will be higher, and easy and middle, medium, easy and harder will be lesser. If you perform too bad in the first module, your second module will be easy, and again easy question will be higher, medium and harder will be lesser. This is how it happens. Now, to get to a high score, you need to get to the harder section. Remember, to get to a high score, to get to near to full marks or get a full marks, you need to get to the harder section. If you get to a easier section, if you get an easy section, your score limit gets set. Okay, this person cannot get, let's say for example, if you are talking about math, let's say if I get a easy module, I'll not get more than, let's say 600, or let's say if I get a medium module, I'll not get more than 700. But if I get a harder module, I can still get 800 score. So that means, for example, if I'm getting a medium module and the maximum I can score, even if I get all the 22 questions of medium level of the second module correct, I'll maximum score is 700. So that means I'm not able to reach to 100, 800. So to get to highest score, you need to get to the second module, to the harder module. Simple sense. Next. So what are the type of questions you will be facing? So scores reported, total scores, section scores, reading and writing. Yes, two scores will be given to you for English and math. You have, in math you have two types of question. One is, we'll directly talk about them. In math you have two types of question. One is MCQ based. You will have 4 options, A, B, C, D. MCQ, 4 options, you have to select one. And the other one is student produced response or numeric entry, in which you will have to find the answer of the question, and you will not have any help from SAT. You will have this box and you'll have to put the answer in. Let's say I'm randomly talking, I'm not looking at the question. Let's say I get answer 4, so I have to put that answer 4 in the box. So this is how it goes. Next, in English you'll have only MCQ type questions. So you saw, fill in the blanks and you will be given MCQs. Next, what is the syllabus broadly? So you have SAT divided in 4 sections. Algebra, that is 35%. Advanced math is also 35%. 15% is problem solving, and geometry and trigonometry is 15%. Now SAT is broadly up till only 10th standard, so it's not that higher math, so it is quite a doable math and English both. Algebra, now algebra covers what topics? Linear equation 1 variable, linear equation 2 variable, linear functions, system of 2 linear equation, linear equalities in 1 and 2 variables. So those are algebraical easy part questions. Now again, equivalent, advanced math doesn't mandate it will have difficult question. It just means that it will have equivalent expression. So linear, non-linear equation 1 variable system. So you can say it's kind of a coordinate geometry, or you can say graphical question, for which they are already helping you out. They are giving you Desmos graphing calculator, or you can say inbuilt graphing calculator. Now problem solving. So problem solving has percentage question, ratio question, unit conversion, and all those for probability questions. Now what does geometry and trigono holds for us? Geometry and trigono has area and volume questions. So you can have an area of square, you can have an area of cuboid, and so on. You can have lines and angle question as well. So it can have 30 degree, it can have 60 degree, those triangle angular questions. So you know that sum of the angles of a triangle is 180. So these sorts of questions also can come. Now right triangle and trigonometry. Yes, right triangle is quite a popular one in SAT. So right triangle may be used, circles, areas, and all. Now many of you may be afraid of trigono, I know. So don't worry, then the trigono formula, sin square plus cos square theta, cosecant square minus cot square theta are not going to come there. So easy part of trigono only comes sine is equal to perpendicular upon hypotenuse, and those kind of questions will be there. Sine is equal to opposite upon hypotenuse, and all those ones. So I can say if algebra is 35%, there will be 13 to 15 questions of algebra, and advanced math will also have 13 to 15 questions. Now you have problem solving, so you can have 5 to 7 questions of problem solving, and geometry and trigono will also have 5 to 7 questions. So you can see the number of questions are given. So Total MCQ based question you can expect from 28 to 32 MCQ based question, and 8 to 12 only of student produced response. And similar sort of distinction is there in verbal as well. So you'll have information and ideas, craft and structure, and expression of ideas, and standard English convention. The 4 topics. What does information and ideas cover? Central ideas and details, command of evidence, textual quantitative inferences, in which you have 26% of the weightage, and you'll get 12 to 14 question. Next, words in context, text structure and purpose of it, cross text connections, and this is 28%, and will be, yes, again 13 to 15 questions. Expression of idea, rhetorical sentences, transitions will be there, 20% it covers, and 8 to 12 questions. Standard English conventions, you will have boundaries, form, structure, and what senses, 26%. So the most important is craft and structure, and followed by standard English convention and information ideas, and lastly but not the least is. So that was about English. Now total question 54. Now, what are the universities accepting SAT in India? Ahmedabad University, Ashoka University, Azim Premji University, OP Jindal, Symbiosis, Flame, Shule University, Shastra, Manipal. So very big universities are also accepting, prestigious universities are also accepting SAT. Apart from, yes, there is worldwide acceptance of SAT. You can get to Harvard, Stanford, whatsoever you name the university, and you can get to top colleges of the world as well, apart from India as well. Now I am Ranchi Indian School of Business, and all. Now what are the facts and registration facts of SAT is? That was all was test structure. Now let's talk about facts of it. Now where do you register for SAT? You have to register at College Board website. Test fees in India is 110, close to $110 US dollars, which is very close to, let's say, 8.5 9,000 currently. Mode of the payment, a credit card, debit, whatsoever you want to use. Accepted ID is valid passport or the Aadhaar card, so preferably is a passport. So if you don't have a passport, please make a passport as well. And changing the test center will cost you $25. Cancelling the registration will also cost you $25. Cancelling registration late for cancelling registration of the test throughout the rest. Now registration deadline usually 1 month before the test date. So for example, if I have exam on, for example, let's say if I have exam on 8th March of 2025, my registration deadline is close to 21st Feb, or let's say 21st Feb. So my registration deadline will be 21st Feb. So it is usually, let's say, 2 weeks or 3 weeks before the registration ends. So for safer side, take it as a 1 month. So you should at least, when you're registering for 8 March, try to register it before of 8th Feb. Try to register it 8th Feb or 10th Feb. So let's not get to the registration deadline. So if I have exam on 8th March, registration deadline may be on 21st of Feb, but we'll try to register it on 12th and 11th of Feb maximum. Declaration of test dates is, yes, 15 to 2 weeks to 3 weeks, 2 weeks to 2.5 weeks, and so. Retaking bliss, yes, you can take as many times you want. Your scores are valid for 5 years. An additional score report, you want to have more score reports to send to different colleges, more colleges, you will have to pay $12 US. So that was all about SAT. So we have talked about SAT here, and I hope you understand every bit of SAT. How is SAT going to happen? What are the facts of it? How the module thing happens? What is the structure of SAT? What are the fees and all? So what are some of the universities? Why is SAT needed? And all those questions must have been answered. If you still have doubts, you can always contact us. Thank you. God bless you.